According to the Carter Center, Mr. Carter, who won the Nobel Peace Prize for his humanitarian work, died on Sunday afternoon at his home in Plains, Georgia. The human rights organization he founded said the 39th U.S. president lived longer than any president in history, having celebrated his 100th birthday on October the 1st. His death came over a year after his wife of 77 years, Rosalind Carter, passed away in November 2023. And more than a year and a half after the ailing former president entered hospice care in February 2023. Well, there are those who say that that is the longest presidential marriage, rather. And he was a one-time president. He refused anything politics after his term in office. He just wanted to focus on humanitarian issues and any other thing, especially his writing as well. Those were two major things he focused on after he left the presidency. And then the Carter Center, which he founded, is known for addressing issues that have to do with guinea worm across the country. That was the major thing that that center is known for. Africa will not forget him for the role he played at addressing such issues, because there is no cure, but he was able to ensure that a lot of persons had some level of treatment, and that the matter of guinea worm and the impact on the human body was addressed across the world, not just in Africa, but Africa had a major chunk of receiving treatments with regards to that.
I agree with you on the fact that Africa was or has been one of the major recipients of, some of the donations by the Carter Foundations. But looking at his approach when he was president to foreign policy, diplomatic relations, and all of that, which formed the hallmark of his presidency. Let's not forget that he was one of the first U.S. presidents to also make a visit to Nigeria during the time of
former President
Obasanjo. And so this is one of the reasons why Africa especially will miss Jimmy Carter, and also his humanitarian stance on ensuring that Africa as a whole comes together. Some of the major issues that are affecting Africa in terms of, democracy, governance, and all of that are nipped in the bud. It was also, a historic figure in the treaty between Israel and Egypt. His approach in emphasizing diplomacy and also ensuring that, foreign relations between major nations when he was president and even post-presidency is one that, that was, emphasized. And we've seen tributes from former presidents, current president. We've seen from Joe Biden, we've seen from Bush, we've seen from Clinton, we've seen from Kamala, and all of that. So many presidents have been, pouring out tributes for the former president. It's a great one. That is one of the longest, longest-lived U.S. president. And, so talking about his own marriage and his stance after the presidency, you see he was someone who was more committed to the humanitarian side.
To service.
Angle to service.
To serving humanity as against what we have seen over the years. He was really committed to serving humanity, and he felt that, politics was not giving him that. So he decided to focus on humanitarian services by, putting together the Carter Foundation, or Carter Center as it's been called, so that he can, get closer to the people and address their needs as much as possible. And he did that for thousands of people across the world. And he was also known for his approach to matters of race and gender diversity as well at his time. He was said to have appointed the most racially and gender diverse judicial appointments. He had made that during his time. And that was because of how he, his approach to things. And he did not hide his faith as well. So, so he was, when you talk about matters of abortion, which is still a major issue in the U.S., his faith seemed to play a major role on his stance. He didn't want to support it as much as possible, although he said he made some statements with regards to that, and he was known for his stance with regards to that matter and every other issues that have generated controversy in the U.S. He will be remembered as one president who one term he did not look at, and he was said also to not even interfere in the affairs of other presidents that came after him. He did not want to have anything to do with, whatever it is they were doing, or the mixed statements and all of it. He just decided to, stay away from politics and just focus on his humanitarian affairs. And then he said he wanted to just make monies from, his income should be from his writings. And he wrote a lot of poems for his wife. And he's said to be one of the presidents that decided to use the name Jimmy instead of James, which is his real name. He wanted to use that name to come in as president. Perhaps that's what his wife called him at the time. And so he decided, let me use Jimmy instead, just to honor his wife, because it was obvious he loved his wife so much at the time. Well, may his soul rest in peace. This is happening a year after his wife passed. Perhaps he couldn't handle it because they were married for 77 years.
There's also
That's
that.
a long time. So, well, he died at a ripe old age, and in Nigeria, we call it a celebration of life.